What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to ask you, are you prepared? Are you prepared for what's coming? Are you prepared for what's here? If you turn on the news, if you get on social media, get on TikTok, get on anywhere, left and right, people are talking about how they're getting laid off, how they're losing their jobs, how they can't find jobs. People are living in fear. People are stressed. People are anxious at unprecedented rates. The mental health of the average individual is not good. It's not good. And as much as it pains me to say this, this is the truth. It's going to get worse before it gets better. As the average individual is in debt up to their eyeballs, and they're living in fear day to day that at any moment they could lose their job, it's causing the fringes of society to become a little crazy. Let's just put it that way. We've been in a recession for a while. No one wants to admit it. No one in power wants to admit it. No one of authority wants to admit it, because why would they? What administration wants to admit that things are not going well? All that's going to happen is they're going to get blamed, and nobody wants to get blamed. Nobody wants to be looked down on or be looked poorly at their time in charge. They're never going to tell us what's really going on until they absolutely have to, until it becomes so undeniable that it can't be manipulated. Until then, they're going to keep doing what they have been doing. They're going to keep gaslighting you and telling you that things are fine. What are you talking about? There's nothing wrong. This is the best economy ever. The stock market's at all-time highs. Well, I don't know about you, but the stock market, that doesn't determine my day-to-day life. The stock market doesn't put food on my table. The stock market doesn't pay my bills. And my bills continue to go up each and every day, each and every month, it seems like. I'm pretty good at getting the most on my dollar, but I have a lot more leeway than most people. And those that have the most to lose, those that have kids to feed, those that have families, as things get tougher, they're gonna do as we all do. We will do what we have to do to get by any means necessary. And unfortunately, I gotta say, I feel like we're just getting started. As the government continues to print money into oblivion, devaluing the currency, and not just the US dollar, this is all currencies, all over the world. They're all printing them to oblivion. Your purchasing power is going to continue to go down. Inflation is going to continue to go up. This system is designed that way. They cannot allow deflation. Things must inflate. Why? Because that's how the wealthy stay wealthy. you have to spend more. So again, I ask, are you prepared? Are you prepared to lose your job if you do? Do you have skills to get another one? Do you have skills that are irreplaceable? And if you don't have the skills that are irreplaceable, or you don't have the skills to get another job, do you have skills to make money outside of one? Can you work for yourself? Do you have value that you can provide? And if you don't, and the answer to those questions is no, then you have work to do, my friend. And very little time to do it in. Do you have assets? Do you have things that you have stored your wealth in? Do you have cash flow outside of punching a clock? Do you have your debts in order? What are you going to do if you have no money, but you have plenty of bills? It's not going to be pretty. In my last video, I talked about minimalism and how minimizing your lifestyle is extremely important. Why? Because as times get tougher, you need some room to breathe. You need some room for mistakes, and you need some room for emergencies. If you're already living paycheck to paycheck, what happens when you don't get the next paycheck? Well, we're starting to see that in mass. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. If I remember correctly, I believe so far in 2025, we've had almost 1 million layoffs. And like I said, we're just getting started. And none of this is taking into account things like artificial intelligence. A lot of the jobs that are being eliminated, they're never coming back. The person that did it is not just getting fired for now. They're getting fired forever. And that job will cease to exist. And you may say, no, that's not a thing. That's not going to happen. How many jobs existed 50 years ago that don't exist now? How many companies existed even 20 years ago that don't exist now? It's very common. Throughout history, it's very common. There are jobs. Think about one common example. There used to be a man whose job, or woman, whose job was purely to operate an elevator in a building. That's all they did. Was they sat there and they opened the door, they shut the door, and they pressed the buttons. That is not a job anymore. That's just one example. There are countless if you think about it hard enough, there are countless. Another thing, when I was a kid, when I was growing up, I used to see street sweepers. People that would drive around in machines, cleaning up the streets, cleaning up the roads. I saw one for the first time earlier in this year in what felt like at least a decade or more. It blew my mind. I didn't even know that still existed anymore. It certainly doesn't the way it used to. At the company that I work for, I listen to old timers talk about positions in the company that used to exist, that people that had job duties that they've simply taken those job duties and given them to other positions and completely eliminated certain positions. I mean, they're doing it to me. They're giving me job duties of other people. They're giving other positions job duties to cut back. Even if they don't eliminate your position completely, they will reduce headcount. Quiet hiring. The same pay, the same job, but more responsibilities. And you either take it on or you're gone. That is the future. And as AI and automation becomes more and more prevalent, that's going to happen more and more often. And so I ask again, are you prepared for what is coming? And if you haven't thought about these things, this is your wake-up call. Now is the time to open your eyes, open your ears, and do what needs to be done to position yourself and your family for what is happening and what is right before you. Because nobody's going to put this on hold. Nobody's going to stop and wait for you to figure it out. Society, the world, and time will continue to progress and pass. And it's up to you to figure out what you need to do. So I encourage you to study up, learn new skills, put yourself in a job, in a position, in an occupation that is irreplaceable, or at least very hard to replace. Don't be reliant on one form of income. Stop wasting your money on liabilities. Put it into assets. Put it into things that are going to preserve your wealth. Put it into things that are going to generate you cash flow. And please, for the love of God, build an emergency fund. Set aside some money for a rainy day, because that day may be here sooner than you realize. With that being said, that's all I have today. And until next time, I hope you all have a great day, a great evening, and stay blessed.